My name is Ram. I work as a senior manager for site reliability engineering in Canada for Thomson Reuters. So my expertise is more on cloud, reliability, monitoring, and all that kind of things, right? So I also run a GDG Cloud Toronto chapter, started in 2019. And what I really wanted to share with you guys is really a quick journey, right? Like the challenges, how it all started. I'll try to keep it very short because I want to keep it interactive. The whole idea is to have a two-way conversation. So you guys ask questions if you guys are running a GDG chapter for the first time or a GDSE lead who's planning to start a GDG chapter, right? What kind of challenges, like the logistics, the venues, the speakers, the team, everything, right? Pretty much sponsors, whatever you want to talk about. I may not have the best of best answers, but I can share what has worked for us and what did not work for us, right? And again, I'm also open to listening to you guys if there is any experienced GDG chapter organizer who has done this. Pretty sure like something might have been working very well. We would like to hear from them as well, right? So we'll keep it like a quick introduction with a storytelling and something will interact more, right? So how did it all started? Somebody from Google reached out to me asking if I would be interested in starting a chapter, right? I had zero idea about what it is all about. I just filled an application form because I was always passionate about teaching, right? And I never could do that as a full-time job. And I think many of us would share that, right? We always have a passion, but along the way we kind of get into a job, and that becomes our journey. So the passion was there, and then they asked like if you would like to learn and teach. I thought, yeah, sure, why not, right? So that's how it all started. So when they came to us, zero idea about GDG programs or what it is all about, what's in it for me. I have zero idea about anything. But just the association with Google was impressive, right? Like some affiliation with Google was my the selling pitch for me, like to join hands. So we started to sign up and everything, and then they said like, okay, the first email not the first email, after we started probably in winter, September, within 2 months, we got an email saying, if you don't start an event, we are going to kick you out of the program. That was our start, right? So, and purely because we were trying to do something big, right? We were trying to plan a website, like everything cosmetics, right? We were not planning to roll out an event or do something in the community. Rather, we were more focused on who the members of the community is going to be, who should I partner with, what website should I do. Like a lot of details that we were thinking and brainstorming, and a lot of things were happening. We were never able to get to it for 2 months. And that email was the motivation, real motivation, right? Where either you stay or you leave, right? And we were like, okay, let's forget about everything. Let's just post an event. Let's just do it. And where we ended up doing it was a day which we did not check the weather. It was a winter storm day. Again, another mistake, right? It all started with big mistakes, but huge learnings for us. And we showed up, like frozen hands and everything, and there was 2 poor souls who were attending our event. Really 2 participants, right? And I was a bit low, I'm going to be very honest with you guys, right? Like I did not expect 2 participants. And the session was for like 2 hours, and I was like, do I really have to spend 2 hours for 2 participants talking about the cloud and everything? Is it worth it? And am I doing justice to even them, right? Like it's a snowstorm day. Like they need to go home as well. But for some reason, they were staying. And I had a friend who I'm going to introduce you to guys very shortly. Because without him, I don't think we would have been where we are today, right? It's always that not just one person show, right? You need a like-minded person. I'll introduce him. That's the reason why I want him to come at the last. Because he'll speak more than me, right? Like if I can speak 5 hours, he'll speak for 10 hours. So I gave the mic to him, right? Like maybe you should start speaking. And he literally spent 2 hours speaking for the 2 people. And I'm just wondering like how patient those 2 are, and kind of telling him like, wrap it up, right? Because we are like spending for 2 people. And for 2 hours, you're going to talk. And the end of the session was interesting. Those 2 people, to our surprise, were non-technology background. They were not a computer student or somebody, right? And the feedback that they gave was, this was very interesting, and we liked it, and we understood everything that you guys said, which is quite surprising to us, because my expectation was totally different, right? Like my expectation, my benchmarks were different. But then what ended up happening was The next question was, I was really asking them, like, are you serious? Did you really like it, right? And they said, no, we were able to connect with everything you said, because until today, we never knew what is a cloud. People talk about cloud as a technology, but we were never able to imagine it is nothing but a physical data center at a geographical location away from you, and you're connecting through an internet, right? It's still physical, right? So and the analogies that he used, everything was so well connecting to him. They understood what is SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, DaaS, everything. And then we were like, I'm like, are these guys really understanding, right? And the next thing was like, when are you doing the next session? And I was overblown, right? Like, really, I was going to come back again. And now we got serious, right? Like somebody who is from a non-technology background is showing some interest, and something is working out. And we're not sure what was it. But definitely their interest was another motivation for us. Now we put another event, we expect 15 people, 50 people show up. And then we put another event, it became 100, and then it became 250. Now we are like unexpected, and we are not very good in marketing, because we are not really like, by profession, we are not event organizers, right? We are like, just like some technology guys, right? But due to word of mouth and organically, the participation rate was going high. And one thing that we started realizing was we kind of slowed down bringing in a lot of speakers. And for certain reasons, right? Like we had amazing, and I'm going to be very honest here between you guys. I don't see any peril talking to you guys about this, right? We brought in some great speakers, our technical person, but they were not connecting with the community. That was one of the learning for us, right? So sometimes you have to find the right speaker for your audience to be engaged, right? So we took it up on us, okay, why? Because we tried it and it did not work out, and the energy in the room was missing, so we started learning by ourselves, we started delivering it, and our focus was Cloud Study Jam, right? Let's start doing hands-on workshops, which is more challenging, and we are not going to waste anybody's time. So we started doing it on a Saturday. People come in at 9 a.m. We stay with them until 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Even if it's 300 people, the biggest hands-on workshop that we did was in University of Toronto, where we had around close to 450 students. And at every study jam, we made sure that the completion rate was at least 95% above. And we were very honest and very brutal. We were very brutal about it. We were very brutal. Thanks. We were very brutal about it, because at the very start of the session, we always tell people, if you know what we are going to teach about it, this is the baseline, right? We do not want to waste your time. If you know what you're going to learn, feel free to leave, right? And we are not, and we have been very open to our participants, and today, our volunteers who support us are none other than our participants. People who came in as participants, they wanted to engage, be part of this community chapter. We have around like 80 volunteers who were all participants at some stage in the last 5 years. And they moved to different places and cities. They still come back and support us during a DevFest, right? Because we connected with them as friends. We are very intense when we do sessions, but right after that, we lead by examples as well, right? Like if there's a garbage bin, we just go and pick it up. We don't ask them to do it. And then they feel like, oh, why are you doing it? Like you should not be doing it. So the relationship grew very strong and firm. Now, so Google selected our study jam as a way to showcase how to do it, right? Because even they couldn't believe it, to be very honest. Because in North America, it wasn't happening everywhere. Like somebody is doing it starting 9 a.m. all the way till 6 p.m. And the metrics that we were showing from the quick labs was very impressive. So they wanted to come down and video shoot it. How do you guys do what you guys really do, right? Are you guys making up some numbers and metrics for us, right? And that got attention as well. So that was milestone 2. Then we started doing a couple of sessions like cloud information sessions at universities. DevFest was something that we started with 350. 2023 DevFest, post-COVID, obviously we had a huge hiccup like everybody else, like in COVID, right? Everything halted all of a sudden. And then post-COVID, it took us some time to, the resiliency was very critical for us. 2023, very aspirational. We planned for 1,000. We ended up getting 1,800 footprint, 2 different locations on the same day in 2 different universities in Toronto. Again, nothing was a planned one. You guys will be surprised that it was not a planned one. We planned for 1 venue. We were just talking to 2 different people. But luckily, those 2 came at the same time, but with different kind of a setup, which one was fitting for our need, one wasn't fit for our need. Like not a big auditorium, right? They were giving us 10 classrooms. And you have limited speakers, right? So there was challenges in rolling out that, but we ended up doing that as well. This is just a snapshot that we took our study jams, and this is what people do, right? They come in, they sit with laptops. This is like 100, that's like probably 250. The last one is the University of Toronto, and this is the study jam where Artash and Arushi, like there is a 9-year-old, should I say kid, because she was the speaker of our event in the Deaf Fest. She and her brother, who was probably 10 years, 11 years old, they did a machine learning demo with the household utilities. They literally made it work, and people were asking them questions like asking them experts, and these guys were really experts, right? And the mistake that we did was one of our organizing committee member was trying to give them a chocolate, and they didn't like it, right? So the reason I'm pointing this out is age is not a barrier. When you have somebody as a speaker, don't think about the age or their expertise. If they have something that you believe in them, give them opportunity, right? That's more important. And we also started doing few things, like which we believe in, right? Social cause. So in every event that we did, there was always, like, especially the key focus was always study jam. That is the secret of success, right? How we got 4,600 organically grown without much of marketing. Purely you are doing hands-on workshop, which I don't think in North America anybody does. Like even paid universities and colleges, when was the last time anybody could have sat in front of a laptop with 6 hours straight doing some labs, trying to complete some quest, right? And we do really like intense, like step-by-step instructions, explaining, not blindly like, okay, you read it, you do it, copy paste, no. Every instruction we explain, and the energy goes like crazy, and it's not sustainable. That is also was a learning for us, right? I was doing it for a long time, and then the health started getting impacted. Because you're talking for 6 hours straight, and it was so impactful, but I learned slowly that it also starts affecting your health. So that is when you split and you do it with other friends, right? So just a word of caution, never stretch, because we are all passionate about things, and that's why we're here, but your health is your health. Like nobody can replace this, right? So we got into the media bites, everything. Now, few things that I just want to talk about, right? What gets measured gets managed. I think most of you guys know this. Know your audience, right? You may have professionals, you may have students, you may have a certain group of people who are joining your events. Know the people, right? Like try to have some demographics so you can measure your benchmark and then like look at short-term, long-term goals, things like that. We were constantly always doing that, right? Like just for our satisfaction. Because it was not always a successful event, let me tell you, right? Though the story looks very interesting and great grand success, not always. The 2023 Deaf Fest, where we planned for a hands-on workshop, remember the 10 classrooms and everything? The bigger auditorium was where we had 400 students. The Wi-Fi in that entire building was off on the Deaf Fest. And we promised our participants that we are going to do hands-on workshops on machine learning, AI, whatnot, right? DevOps. There was parallel 3 sessions that were supposed to happen in the same building, and there's 450 participants sitting right in front of you, and you don't have a working Wi-Fi. I had to use my mobile hotspot to connect and share. So you can imagine the temperature in the room and how bad things could go wrong, right? But what really helps is the understanding, right? Like at the very start of the event, like there's nothing like cover up, right? Like we always tell our participants that we are none other than you, right? We are just one among you guys. This is not a full-time job. We are not event organizers. We are trying to learn and share with limited resources that we are getting by collaborating with different people. The university is giving us the space. The Google is giving us the credits. We are spending our time to learn. You are spending your precious time with us on a weekend. So let's be respectful and things like that, right? Like when you set the stage right and expectations right, and the volunteers, we also make sure that they are respected, right? We have had situations where people would demand for a hot water, and we have those kind of participants as well. They have been pretty demanding and very upset as well, and trying to be a little disrespectful. Those are times where you have to step in, but you should know how to diffuse the situation, right? And the same participant who was upset, he brought water bottle for us. So things changes, right? Like people have some expectations, but once you are very open and transparent, you tell them your constraints when you do an event, I think that works as well. So some of the volunteers in 2023. So I don't know if this will play. It's just a 2 minutes or a 1 minute video.
This organization and this event provide me the opportunity to experience using Google Cloud.
our study jam, Google's team
I want to
came
connect
down.
with a lot of people.
They did all
I'm
the
a
videos.
people person. We have people coming from doctors' background, medical professional, lawyers.
The ability to actually participate in a live session is much more powerful than a virtual classroom.
But here you've got a lot of volunteers, you've got great instructors, and it really helps because when you do get stuck, you can ask someone.
It's made less scary when I was surrounded by others and we could ask for help.
It's an opportunity to connect with other people who also have the same affinity for this new cloud technology.
That's pretty much it. It's just a 1 minute video. I don't want to play the DevFest 2022 video. That's another 2 minutes, but I don't want to waste your time. I know it's end of the day. I want to make sure that we respect your time as well. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so pretty much the journey, we already covered it, right? Yeah, the COVID happened. We were kind of slowing down. We were very aspirational. We wanted to go big, but with COVID, we went remote, right? Like we kept the momentum, but then people know that we were still active and they were always trying to come back and do it. Venue availability, like the topmost are all the challenges that we had, right? Like venue availability and everything. And today we had 1,800 participants footprints. Chapter formation. I'll keep it very short. How many of you are planning to have a chapter started, or you're trying to work with creating a team, finding it hard to get a like-minded person to work with? We all gone through that, right? People have different motivations, right? Like for me, the motivation was the association with Google. I'm being very transparent about it, right? And teaching, obviously. For somebody, it might be, yeah, I don't have time, they have different reasons. Like nobody is right or wrong. People have different motivation, the circumstances are different. So you have to be open to have people join your hands, right? And different personalities may come in, go, short term, long term. Everybody has unique strengths, and that's what my friend tells me, that don't look at the bad side alone. Like we all have that. Look at the skill that this person might bring into the team, and let's focus on that skill, right? So we will go through this kind of situations, right? Like there's always that forming situation where you find right people to work with, people from different ethnicity, different cultural background. There's going to be a lot of changes, and then there's going to be some chaos moment, right? Like we are going to have, oh, don't do this, this is work, this will not work. Let us be people who can experiment with it, right? We know where is the fine line where we cannot cross things, but if somebody wants to try something, it's okay. Try it once, right? Like don't be too rigid about, or don't be too strict about this will not work, right? Let's not have that kind of a mindset. And then once you start seeing the changes happening, I believe when I did the first session, it was like 6-hour session. Nobody believed it could be done. When I did it, my friend came to me and said, like, I'll do the next session, right? So somebody who doesn't believe, will start believing in them as well, because we want to see something in action. So then performance happens, like people start performing as well. And then you just have to keep the momentum going, your performance increases, and then, like, I'm very happy, super happy with the support we are getting from our volunteers today, right? Always, what is in it for me, right? Like, have clear understanding. What do you want to achieve in the short term? What do you want to achieve in the long term as well? Your short-term goal could be, I don't really need a mic. Okay, yeah. I've been talking in front of 300 people. I realized that I was talking all along without a mic. And because when I talk, it's too loud and the mic like bombards everybody's ears. So yeah, so be very clear about what you want. And I was also a GDG mentor for the last 2 years, right? And I could not do justice to that. I'll tell you that, right? I was a GDG organizer. We scaled up very big. Was a WTM ambassador. I felt I did some justice there. But as a GDG mentor with the COVID situation and everything, whatever my plans were, I wasn't doing right. As a responsible people, you also need to know when to quit, right? I said, I'm not running the election. I'm not taking this GDG mentor at this time. Let some new faces come in, right? So fresh faces always bring some fresh ideas as well. You can always come back, support in different ways and shapes. So know who is going to be your journey, right? Like this is not going to be one-man show. Do not try to run everything by yourself. You'll burn your time, your energy, your health. It's not sustainable at all, right? You need really a team of passionate volunteers, like-minded, to whom you can work, who has some tolerance for failure, who will be there. They could be your organizers, they could be volunteers, partners like universities and colleges who can give you venues when you approach them, sponsors. Sometimes they come knocking your door when they see things that you're doing, right? Supporters, participants, like they are big proponent of success for your chapters. Because if they don't come attending our events, I don't think we would have had to University of Toronto and George Brown College giving us like to complete University of Toronto give us a complete building, right? So I don't think people do that unless they see the value that you guys are bringing in. Some ideas for successful events. So I want to pause here. Before we go into the challenges, this is the last slide, okay? Some things that worked for us. So we did few things unconventional, right? Like something, like when people complete those labs, we started giving them certificates. Because psychologically, you get that sense of accomplishment when you do something, right? Rather than simply telling them there's a digital badge that you can post online, it works great. People do that. I love that as well. But the physical certificate, I believe, made a big impact to people. They felt that accomplishment. I think that was a great motivation. Infusing social costs, not restricting to just technology professionals, inviting non-technology professionals. The goal was always, if you have, let's even DevOps, machine learning, site reliability engineering, or AI, whatever you do, as a workshop, if the non-technical person in the room, we always ask them, like, who are the non-technical people? They raise their hands. No shame in that, right? Like, they are in a different profession where they might be the best of best. So if our targets were them, right? If that person could complete that day, the workshop, most of us are completing it, right? So that's where we had doctors and lawyers who would come and talk about the use cases and do it. And that was all the motivation. Couple of other ideas. To do things, let's focus on challenges more than ideas, right? Like, I think that is more valuable. I'll pause here. If you guys have any questions about, doing an event, scaling up, any logistical problems that you want to talk about, how do we overcome? Sure. I'm not sure if there's another mic, but yeah. Hello.
Thank you.
Vimal, if you could join as well. Please give a round of applause for Vimal.
Hey.
Nothing would have been possible without him, because sometimes I'm good at strategy, but he was always the guy who was both strategic and on the ground, on the field, making things happen.
Thank you for sharing everything. It's awesome. And we're GDG Cloud Boston as well. And we have some teammates. I think he also met Norbert as well. So the question I have is that, sometimes some of our members get busy and then we're trying to bring in volunteers. And how did you handle the volunteer management, right? And how did you keep them motivated and keep them coming? And at the same time, like, make sure that they're not burning out and rewarding them enough and providing enough content for them and so on.
Sure. Vimal does the volunteer management in our group. I don't do that because it's, again, as I said, the skills are different, right? I can speak straight for 5 hours, but it takes a different skills to manage the volunteers. I'll let him answer.
Sure, Ram, thank you. Hi, everyone. So, very good question. I guess that's a very practical thing because you begin your journey with volunteers. You yourself is a volunteer. You have the same thing now, but you don't know how to manage that with other folks. You know how to manage yourself, right? That's one of the challenges. Few things you need a great clarity when you work on things. The clarity to ourselves, what we are up to, what we are doing, why we are doing. This, you should not be in a state of confusion, first of all. How do you develop that clarity is the very first step, before we even start speaking to anybody else. To be specific to your question about volunteers, you need to define certain eligibility criteria. Who will be your volunteer? Will it be anybody? When I meet somebody, we have a process to enroll volunteers. We just don't bring anyone. We ask them to fill a form, which is their consent that we can contact them. Step one. Step two, once they have filled the form, of course, we are open to bring anyone, right? But we tell them what the criteria are. The criteria that I tell them usually is, first, if you are a student, you will not compromise with your education. If you are working professional, you will not compromise with your work. Both of you, students, professionals, or somebody who is looking for the job, you will not compromise with your family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, spouse, whatsoever. You will not compromise with any of them. After not compromising with all of it, if you have a lot of time going on reels, shorts, and you want to get out of it, you want to do something more passionately, do talk to us. We have a lot of things to do together. That's my criteria. So that nobody should feel that I'm trying to cut short anything in life to do certain things, so that they don't miss out while they are doing this. Whatever we are doing should add value to our overall uh, personal ecosystem. It should not be a compromised situation, right? So that gives a sense of satisfaction for people who work on it. So that's also a motivation for them. I do not tell them why you should join us. I do not tell them a tip. I tell them why I join. I have my own reasons. Ram mentioned he has passion for Google, companies like Google. My personal passion is that if anything is happening technologically great in the world, I want to be in the first runner to know about it. That's my first prima facie reason why I am associated with this structure. This community allows me that to happen. I let all volunteers to decide themselves why they are here. They have to find their own regions. I will not tell them. My regions may not be their regions. So once they go through the thought process of evaluating why you are here, they are more connected. They are really attached. They are not somebody who is delusional and who is trying to do something and trying out. Yeah, this is perfectly okay to try out things, but that won't be my accountability. Somebody who is into the structure should be very knowing it for sure, like I know it for sure, why I am here, what I'm going to achieve it, why I should not be earning certain dollars in those time rather than spending and volunteering my time here. That clarity has to happen. I hope that answers.
Now you know how we scale to 4,600.
We have very less time, I guess, few seconds left.
We'll
If
take
there is any last
very quick
question, we can
questions
tell.
If you have anything to ask us. Or if you have something that you believe works amazing.
Hey everybody, David from GDG Seattle. Pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Super quick question. When you're vetting someone to join your core leadership team and you're going through that criteria, are there any red flags that you look for that could potentially become, an excuse for, a lack of commitment later down the road? Because we want to make sure that from the beginning we're with people that will honor that commitment and will go with us through the highs and the lows, right?
I'll keep it very quick. I think we both have criterias which are different, right? Like I look at the attitude. Like that to me is the foremost thing, because I don't want somebody to walk in and disrupt the entire, what do you call the momentum, right? Like it disturbs. All it takes is that one person's wrong attitude. So I've had people who say, hey, I've been an organizer back home in India, so I want to be in the organizing team, right? So to me, yeah, I'm so happy that you have been in a GDG. I respect that. I'm happy to meet, but do show up to our events. They don't show up to our events. They directly want to be the organizers, but then it totally doesn't make sense, right? So we have people who have been part of us, supporting us, like picking up the garbage bags alongside with us. We'll give them definitely the opportunity, even though they may not have the experience that the other person is bringing in, right? So I foremost look at the attitude, right? Because to me, if somebody is humble, because specifically we are all from different ethnicity and culture in Toronto, like a bit more diverse, right? So to me, you cannot just walk in and bring some attitude that disturbs them, and the optics, right? Like two Indian faces may bring some optics as well, but the way you interact, you treat people, that breaks, right? So we are also open to feedback as well. Like we always, like Vimal makes sure that after every event, there is a feedback that people can give, and very open feedback. People don't leave until 10 p.m. after the event. You guys can't believe that. We literally have to shut down, the park's closed, because we take them to the park after the event, and they want to stay they become friends eventually. So I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll just add a quick note on that. We don't see leadership as any position. Leadership is the art of behaving, the way we behave. Anyone, otherwise we would not have a 9-year-old who is coming to a dais, who came as a participant and will be speaking to our Deaf Fest, where we had like 400, 500 people, right? So we don't see that perspective. Neither we want people who are having a perspective where leadership is a role, you have this authority and stuff like that. It's a way of thinking, how we lead through examples, how we do things. It doesn't matter what's the age, what's the color, nothing at all. It's only about, and nobody needs that position for that matter. In our community, if anybody has to do something and wants to do something, they're more than welcome to drive it through. Last year, when we had to do it at a different session because we did not have one single venue to accommodate more than 1,000 people or 1,500 people, then we had to naturally grow our team, people who had been assisting us for last 3-4 years. We made them and called them like leads or the spot leads who were on their own, because I cannot be at both the places. Ram cannot be on both the places. So it's a very organic growth that will happen. And it will happen with those who are already leading it. I don't have to tell anybody as such. And we have seen that happening. I remember one of the volunteers who came for the first time, we had certain delays because of some reason. In the meantime, she engaged 300, 400 people into a little physical exercise. It was so engaging and so interesting. Automatically, she's a leader. We don't have to tell that. We can see that, right? So I guess we are out of the time, but you guys can always connect to us. We'll be happy to assist in whatever limited knowledge we have, limited experience we have, but we are reachable. That is the primary things that we can say. Thank you.